Oh, hi there. My name's Millionaire. No, that's actually just an alias. My name's Jordan Kilburn. I've had a lot of people ask me what my daily routine looks like, what I do on the daily, what's my schedule look like, what do I spend all my time doing? Do I actually do anything at all? So in this video, I want to take you through a day in the life of a young and successful millennial entrepreneur. So I like to start my days like most people do by waking up, and I usually do that right here in this bed. But sometimes I do wake up on the street outside or even in the pool. Now right when I wake up, I do what most people do, I think, and that's just grab your phone and start looking through it, seeing, hey, did any of my businesses go bankrupt while I was sleeping for the past 8 hours? So I usually like to do that just to make sure everything's not on fire. And then from there, I like to get up and, well, it kind of depends on the day. Some days I like to go to the gym, some days I don't. And that usually is dependent on whether I went to the gym the day before. So if I went to the gym yesterday, I probably won't go today. So like yesterday I went to the gym, so this morning I didn't. And then when I get back from the gym, I usually go into the kitchen and cook myself some breakfast. So if we come on in here, as far as what I have for breakfast, I'm gonna do like a whole separate video because nutrition is actually really important. It's underplayed by a lot of entrepreneurs. I see a lot of entrepreneurs like not eating healthy, and that's like one of the most important parts of being an entrepreneur is actually, you know, giving yourself good food. And so many people just eat like crap all the time. I'll then go and take a shower, get ready for the day, you know, do my hair, do my beard, make sure I look good because I'm probably not gonna actually go anywhere. So all of that's pretty normal. I feel like that's what everybody does in the morning is just get ready for the day, have some breakfast, maybe work out. And then after that's when things kind of get interesting. So there really isn't like a typical day for me. I do all sorts of different stuff on every day of the week. For example, Tuesdays is Taco Topgolf Tuesdays, which is a company-wide outing to Topgolf. We have some tacos, it's Tuesday, we have fun, and team building is super important. But let's say it's like a Wednesday or something like that, right? Today is actually Friday, so I'm doing things a little differently than I would have done yesterday or even the day before. But a typical Wednesday is actually what most of my week looks like besides like Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So really just Wednesday and Thursday are kind of similar. So what I like to do on a typical Wednesday or Thursday, after I get ready for the day, I usually check in with all of my different teams. So I've got, you know, my retail business, I've got my software business, I've got consulting. So I like to check in with everybody. You know, I check in with my partner in my retail business, I check in with my developers, I go and I check in on my students to make sure everything's going well with them. And that's usually most of the day spent is just like checking in with everybody and answering questions and helping everybody out and making sure everything's going smoothly. But I want to jump into a little more detail about that. You know, what does that even entail? Like when I say, you know, check in with them, what am I talking about? In my retail business on Amazon, we usually talk about what products we're going to launch next. How are the products that we just launched doing? You know, how are the campaigns that we're running doing? How are the advertisements going? How is each product doing individually as well as like a brand on a whole? Different quotes we got from manufacturers, logistics, shipping costs, adding it all up, seeing if it's profitable, looking at the reviews, seeing if it's a good seller, if we're going to be able to break into the market, you know, what we'd have to do to break into the market, what we would possibly need to spend on marketing to actually sell the product. So basically we talk about everything that you would normally talk about when you're running a business, especially in retail, is what products are we gonna sell? And then in my software company, I talk to my developers about, hey, you know, what features are we gonna include in this software? When are we gonna launch it? You know, what's the timeline look like? What features do you have now? Can I test them? You know, and I'll actually go in and test out the different things that they've been working on. And then of course, I love talking to my students throughout the day, answering their emails, answering their questions. I'll get in our Facebook group and go through and see if there's any questions that I can answer that haven't already been answered by someone else. And, you know, just kind of spend some time with them and see what's going on, how are their businesses doing, and, you know, giving them some advice. But there's also days where those things don't even take very long at all. I'll be like, hey, how are things doing? And they'll just be like, everything's good, everything's going great. And I'll say, sounds good, keep it up. And on days like that, I usually just like to chill. Go to the pool, go play some golf, read a book, you know, just like lay on the floor on this really comfy looking rug and just like relax. Maybe I'll play some video games with some friends or something like that. Maybe run some errands. I really do like to go out and drive my car because I have a Nissan GTR and that's super fun to like take outside the city on the back roads and just like floor it. One thing that I do that I don't think a lot of people do is I spend a lot of time, and when I say a lot of time, I mean several hours every day, creatively thinking. That's basically just me sitting on the couch, sitting in a chair with a notebook, writing down just any ideas that come to mind. They don't have to be good ideas, and in fact, the majority of them are terrible ideas, but every now and then, every month or so, I'll go back and I'll look through that notebook and I'll just put lines through the ideas that are bad, and I'll circle the ideas that, hey, that has potential. That idea could be something that I could turn into something. For example, the idea to build an all-inclusive software suite for Amazon sellers, which is one of the businesses that I'm working on a lot right now, was an idea that I had several months ago that I went back and checked on like a couple months ago and saw. I was like, that's a really good idea. I think that would really help people out a lot. So I'm gonna do that. And then I went and found a development team, I hired them, and now we're working on the software. And the release date will probably be in a few months for those of you that are wondering. But that creative time where I'm just sitting and thinking about ideas plays a very large role in my overall success, because the more ideas that you have, then the more ideas that you can actually enact on. And then the more ideas that you enact on, obviously the more successful you'll be, the more things that you'll have, either bringing you money or helping other people or whatever you want to define as success for you. The more of it that you have, the more of it that you are, if that makes any sense. But more importantly, I want to talk about what your daily routine should look like. Because when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, it was nothing like what it is today. And I feel like a lot of you are watching this because you haven't quite figured out what your daily routine should be, or what you should be doing with your time as a starting out entrepreneur. So here's what your daily routine should look like when you're first starting out. You should be spending most of your time on research and development. So for example, if you wanted to start an Amazon business, you should be spending most of your time looking for products. That should be almost all the time you spend is looking for products, not doing anything else, not worrying about, how to make the listing, take the pictures, do the advertising. You need to be looking for good quality products that you can also sell. And obviously in any business that you start, you want to spend a lot of time researching the products that you're looking to sell, or research whatever it is that you're trying to sell. Whether it be a service, a physical product, a software, it doesn't matter. You need to be researching what exactly it is that you're going to do. Then once you realize, okay, this is a great product, it's going to be a home run, I'm going to do it, that's when you move into the actual development phase, where you actually are spending all of your time looking into how you're going to sell the product. So you've picked out the product, but then you have to look into how you're going to sell it. And again, this isn't just Amazon, this is anything. Any business that you start, every single business out there is based on selling something. So you have to find something to sell, and then you have to say, how am I gonna sell it? And so what that looks like on a daily basis is up to you. For example, when I first started, I still had a full-time job. I'd wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'd go to work, and then I'd come home, I'd get home at about 5, and then I'd work until midnight on my Amazon business. And that's what I did for probably 3 or 4 months before I actually saw any success. And to be completely honest with you, a lot of the first products that I did were complete flops. They actually failed miserably, and I didn't even make any money off of them. So just because you mess up the first time or the second time or the third or fourth time doesn't mean that you should give up. It just means that you've learned all these different ways how to not do it. Your experience is now much, much higher. You've gained all this experience on how to do what you're trying to do. Don't throw that away. Every time you fail, you build up experience on what you need to do and what you shouldn't do. And what I see so many people do is they get all this experience on how to do something, and then they quit and they just throw it all away. And everything's wasted, because if you try over and over and over and you fail and fail and fail, and then you give up, you could be one more try away from succeeding, and you don't know until you try. So that's why I say your daily routine should mostly be centered around actually researching stuff, like spending the time, using the different tools that are out there to help you research, or whatever it is, whatever business you're trying to build, it should be researching. You should spend all of your time, all of your waking hours researching whatever it is that you're going to sell. Learn everything there is to know about the particular product. And then once you know everything, you're an expert, then people will want to buy from you because they know that you're an expert in something. So I hope that all that makes sense. If you still have questions, drop me a comment and let me know. I'm gonna make another video about nutrition and eating right and stuff like that in the future, so keep an eye out for that. But as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Man, if I was funny, then I could prove my friends wrong. Show them just how funny I am, and then they can suck it. Maybe if I look at some of the greatest and funniest people that have ever walked this planet, then I can figure out what it is that makes them funny. I just gotta keep looking. I gotta find some of the best movies that have ever come out and just figure out what it is that they did. And then I'll just do the same thing, and it's gonna work.
Right, it's pulling up.